So in this video, I'm going to talk very briefly about day filters for dogs in your groups. Okay, so I just want to talk very briefly about what it does and give you a sort of hypothetical situation. So say, for example, here I have my afternoon wrecking crew, which has the same 5 dogs on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Now, say for example that we want to keep this group, but we want to remove, say, Shiloh on Thursday when we're adding our group. Currently, as it stands, what we would have to do is go into Thursday. We would need to add our group. Okay, so just like you've done previously, and go back to your diary. But the problem is that you don't want to add Shiloh to this walk. So what you have to do here is you'd have to go into the walk and then manually remove Shiloh so she wasn't in, which kind of gets a little bit tedious. Okay, so what I've added is the ability to filter dogs on certain days when adding your groups. So if we go over to the doghouse, all right, and we find Shiloh, we click over to the calendar icon here, the last tab, and just click the three dots here, and you should get a bottom sheet showing. Now you'll see here the second option down, amend day filters. Okay, so we're just going to tap into that. So you can choose any days in which you don't want Shiloh to be added via a group. Now, this is quite loose functionality because I didn't want it to be too tied down to your calendar, because there might be days that Shiloh does work on a Thursday that you might want to add her back in. All right, so let's say, for example, we want to exclude her from any group on a Friday. Okay, I'm going to click on the Friday and apply filters. All right, so we'll close this down now. You'll see here just below the number of events in the event history, you'll see active day filters, which is Friday. Okay, so if we go back to the diary and we click on Friday, add event, add group. Okay, so the first thing you'll see here, just below the add groups button, you'll see a statement that says the following dogs have filters applied for Friday. And you can see here that Shiloh has now been added. Now, if you look at the afternoon wrecking crew, you can see that Shiloh is no longer in that group, which is what you want. Okay, so then you can go and add it as you please. Now, if we go back to the diary, look at Friday, you'll see that Shiloh isn't there. Now, again, just what I mentioned about a couple minutes ago about not wanting to tie the functionality down. Say, for example, you did want to go back in and add Shiloh to that walk. There's absolutely nothing stopping you. This is just more of a handy little feature to save you having to go into each walk and manually remove a dog. So the option still is there to add a dog who's been excluded from a group on a specific day. All right, now just to prove that it only works on a Friday, you can see here that if I go to Saturday, add our group, you'll see here that Shiloh's now back in because it's not a Friday. And if we add the group and go back to the diary on a Saturday, you'll see that Shiloh is now back in the afternoon wrecking crew. So it's just a small caveat to bear in mind when you're using this feature, that it will only work with the add groups functionality. It won't work with any other events in the calendar. So just make sure to bear that in mind. And also, if you are using the copy week functionality, that would still copy over the previous weeks and it would not apply the day filters. So again, just bear that in mind when you're using this feature.